morning students. Today's class we're going to see diesel engine power plant. Before starting this topic, I want to say what is diesel engine power plant. Diesel engine power plant is one of the mobile power plant. Wherever the power required, we can bring this power plant and we can generate power. The maximum power of this diesel power plant is 50 megawatts of power can be generated. Now we're going to see the basic type of IC engines. What is IC engines? Internal combustion engine. So these are the various components of the IC engines. You can see the top, you can see the camshaft, spark plug, intake valve, combustion chamber, cooling water, cylinder block, piston, connecting rod, crankshaft, crankcase, etc. Now, whenever I say IC engines, there is a spark ignition engine as well as compression ignition engine. But this diesel power plant comes under compression ignition engines. Now we go, now we're going to see the function of IC engines. See, the IC engines broadly classified into two types. One is four-stroke engine, another one is two-stroke engine. The four-stroke engine, the crankshaft revolves two complete rotations for completing the four strokes. But in two-stroke engine, we're going to get only one rotation of the crankshaft. Next, going to see what is diesel engine. The two-stroke diesel engine is more favored for diesel power plant, but the four-stroke engine is very much adapted for the automobiles. The air required for the diesel engine is drawn through the air filter from the atmosphere and compressed inside the cylinder. The fuel from the diesel engine is drawn through a filter from all day tank and injected into the cylinder through fuel injectors. Because of the high temperature and pressure of the compressed air, the fuel burns and the burnt gases expand to do work on the moving part inside the cylinder called piston. This movement of the piston rotates a flywheel and the engine is directly coupled to electric generator. The gases after expansion inside the cylinder is exhausted into the atmosphere and passes through a silencer in order to reduce the noise. The other name of silencer is tailpipe. Introduction. Diesel power plants produce power in the range of 2 to 50 megawatts. They are used as standby sets for continuity of supply such as hospitals, telephone exchanges, radio stations, cinema theaters and industries whenever peak load is necessary. They are suitable for mobile power generation and widely used in railways and ships. This is the layout of the diesel power plant. The layout, you can see this is the engine and the fuel is taken from the fuel tank. This way fuel goes to the day tank, then from the day tank the fuel is entered to the engine, and from the atmosphere the air has been passed to the, or we say the air has been taken to the engine by means of this air filter and get inside pass to the way of the diesel. Next, after the combustion, the exhaust gases moves out from the diesel engine and goes to the silencer, or you can say the tailpipe. Next, this one is the water system. Why? Because we all know that The cooling system is classified into two types. One is air cooling, another one is water cooling. In diesel engines, we are using water cooling systems. So this is the way the water has been taken out and again go to the heat exchanger and go to the cooling tower, and again in the cycle again the water has been passed to the engine. And then lubrication. So we all know that for all moving components the lubrication is very very important. So the lubricating oil has been taken from the oil tank and passed through the engine. What are the various components of the diesel tank? The air intake system, fuel supply system, exhaust system, cooling system, lubrication system, and starting system. What is air intake system? The air required for the combustion of fuel inside the diesel engine cylinder is drawn through the air filter. The purpose of this filter is to remove dust from the incoming air. The dry filter may be made of felt, wood or cloth. Wet filter is oil bath is used. So the main aim of this filter is to filter the inlet air. Next system we're going to see is fuel supply system. The fuel from the storage tank is pumped through a filter into a smaller tank called a day tank. This tank supplies the daily requirements of the diesel engine. From the fuel tank, the purpose we are pumping out the oil with the help of this fuel pump, and the fuel is being sprayed inside the. Next system is the exhaust system. The exhaust gases coming out of the engine is very noise. In order to reduce the noise, the silencer used. The silencer, the other name of silencer is tailpipe. Next, we're going to see the cooling system of the diesel engine. The temperature of the burning fuel inside the engine cylinder is 1500 degrees Celsius to 2000 degrees Celsius. In order to lower this temperature, water is circulated around the engine. The hot water leaving the jacket is passed through the heat exchanger. The heat from the heat exchanger is carried away by the raw water circulated through the heat exchanger, and it is cooled in the cooling tower. So this is the layout of this cooling system. You can see this one. This is the engine, this is the heat recovery system, this is the oil cooler, and this one is customer heat exchanger and excess heat exchanger. The cooling water jacket. So this cooling water is going to cool the engine as well as the lubrication oil which is passed inside the engine. So it's going to cool down both the engine as well as the lubrication system. Next we're going to see the lubricating system. This circuit includes lubricating oil tank, oil pump and oil cooler. The purpose of this lubrication system is to reduce the wear of the engine moving parts, part of the cylinder such as piston, shaft, valves. Everything should be lubricated. Lubrication also helps to cool the engine. at the starting system. Diesel engine used in diesel power plant is not self-starting. The engine is started from the cold condition with the help of an air compressor. So this is about the schematic diagram. Diesel engine power plant schematic diagram. Next, we're going to see the advantages of diesel power plant. The diesel power plant is very simple design, also simple installation and occupies less space. Limited cooling water is required. Diesel power plant are most efficient than steam power plant in the range of 50 megawatts capacity. Quickly started and put on load. It can respond to varying loads without any difficulty. Smaller storage is needful for the fuel. Layout of the power plant is quite simple. There is no problem of ash handling and less supervision required. The disadvantage of this diesel power plant: high maintenance, lubrication cost and operating system. Fuel cost is more. Since in India diesel is costly, the plant cost per kilowatt is comparatively more. The life of diesel power plant is small due to high maintenance. Noise is a serious problem in diesel power plant. Diesel power plant cannot be constructed for large scale.